welcome back to Around Our World in 80! Yay! So, this Disney Bound Our Life episode is actually months in the making instead of doing one a month, because we honestly just had a really busy March. And so we actually did our activity back in February, but we only watched the video like last night or 2 nights ago.
Yeah.
But we watched Lego Movie, the second part, which is technically a rule breaker because it's not technically Disney. So we're rule breaking all
Warner
sorts
Brothers.
of things. Yes. But we thought it would be really fun. We enjoyed the first Lego Movie, so we thought the second one would be fun. In true style, let's get our Wikipedia on. It says that Lego Movie 2, the second part, is a 2019 computer animated adventure comedy film. It's the 4th film in the Lego Movie franchise following the release of the film's first 2 spin-offs, the Lego Batman movie and the Lego Ninjago movie, which were both released in 2017. Animation was provided by Animal Logic, who has provided the animation for all of the films in the franchise, with Trisha Gum serving as animation director. One of the things I thought that was really entertaining about the Lego Movie 2 was the music, because we all know the Everything is Awesome song, and I feel like they did another very annoyingly catchy song in this one. And it says, following the same attempt to create an earworm with the first film's Everything is Awesome, the producers of the film created a similar song for the sequel called Catchy Song, which principally features as its only lyric the repeated phrase, "This song's going to get stuck inside your head." According to them, they found that Everything is Awesome was annoyingly catchy, and the only way they could outdo that was to dial the annoying up to 11, which I think they succeeded on. So the box office reception, it grossed $105.8 million in the United States and Canada and $85.1 million in other territories for a worldwide gross total of $190.9 million. The film was originally projected to gross between 50 and 55 million from theaters in its opening weekend. The film made 1.5 million from Thursday night previews, and when combined with advanced screenings, made a total preview gross of only 2.1 million. After making 8.5 million on its first day, weekend estimates were actually lowered to 31 million. It went on to debut to 34.1 million, finishing first at the box office, but marking a 50% decline from the first film.
Yikes.
Yeah. On Rotten Tomatoes, the film holds an approval rating of 86%, with an average rating of 6.97 out of 10. The website's critical consensus reads, while it isn't quite as much fun as its predecessor, the Lego Movie 2, the second part, fits neatly into an animated all-ages franchise with heart and humor to spare. Critical consensus from Jared, do you agree with that?
Yeah.
I do too.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's actually pretty accurate.
The first one was so... It kind of caught you off guard, and there were so many little witty things, so there's a lot of nostalgia behind it. And when you try and follow that up, it's really difficult.
Well, I don't feel like there was... So, like, in the first movie, you know, they introduced things like the Craggle and the Big Man, and it seemed like it was a part of this little world, and the big world wasn't really shown until the very end at the climax of the story, and so this movie didn't really have anything like that. Right. And there was no real twist to like go, oh my gosh, and put the things together and think, oh, how clever. There wasn't really anything like that.
Yeah, not as much, no.
There was also a lot of pop references in this movie, which as a pop newbie, I'm not a newbie, I'm ignorant about a lot of pop culture.
As someone who avoids pop culture at all costs.
So there was a lot of one-liners that just literally went right over my head. I'm like, I have no idea what they're talking about. So I don't know if it's just because I'm getting old and I don't understand these things.
And you also never listen to the radio.
True.
The only thing that gets played in the car are podcasts and Disney music.
Yeah, pretty much.
And subsequently podcasts about Disney music.
So yeah, a lot of the references went over my head. So I think that's why I didn't quite connect with it as much. I did like, just from a parenting perspective, the idea that they were teaching siblings to play well with each other, and that a teenager and his little sister can play together. Like, that was a nice message. Thumbs up for that. But yeah, it wasn't quite as magical as the first one.
Yeah. So our activity for this was we actually went and saw the Lego art museum. Musibit.
It's a new word, y'all.
Add it to the word. Museum exhibit. Done by, I don't know, remember his name. Some
I
famous
can look it up.
Lego sculptor guy. It was actually really amazing, some of the stuff he came up with. So he's world famous. And
Nathan Sawaya.
that one.
That guy.
Some other name we can't pronounce.
Mm-hmm.
But that was really cool. And at the end, we got to play with some Lego bricks and stuff. And I have no imagination when it comes to putting bricks together. I follow instructions.
But he's very good at it.
I'm good at putting stuff together if I have instructions when it comes to Legos. But
Yeah.
some people can build crazy cool stuff, and I never could.
You're not a master builder.
No, I'm an Emmett.
So they actually really took this exhibit and they laid it out, in my opinion, extremely well. And it kind of followed his journey of how he got into Lego designing and sculpting. It actually went through that process for him.
And sculpting.
Yes. It actually went through that process on his growth as an artist, and it took you on that journey as well. So he originally started by recreating some very famous art pieces with Legos. He did like Van Gogh. He did the flower
Mona
rose,
Lisa.
the Mona Lisa, but he also did the stained glass window from Notre Dame. And they had that one displayed really, really cool because they actually had it on the ceiling, like suspended from the ceiling, and they had another light shining through it, and then you could see the pattern on the floor. And the way that
The color diffused through the bricks and showing onto the floor.
And the way that he did that was he actually layered Lego pieces on top of each other that were different colors.
It was 2 layers. It was single bricks in 2 layers, and so if he needed green, he would use a blue and a yellow brick and make green light.
Which,
if he couldn't find the brick color that he needed, he would just use the bricks that existed and mix them to get the colors he needed.
Fascinating.
That was pretty cool.
So a lot of the first room was either flat Lego pieces that were flat art, or he took art and made it 3-dimensional, like flat art and made it 3-dimensional. So that first room, I honestly thought was some of the most impressive stuff because it took something that already existed and made it into a new medium very creatively. Then the second room that we went through was all of the sculpture. He took the David and he made a sculpture out of that.
Life-size sculpture.
Yeah, the Venus. A lot of sphinxes and the Easter Island
head.
That was ginormous. The amount of bricks that he used, you can get through a lot of episodes of Game of Thrones while you build that.
Oh my god.
But again, I found that room extremely impressive because it was, again, taking something that already existed and interpreting it with a different material very creatively. As we went through, that's when he started doing his own sculptures, which again were cool, but I didn't necessarily think they were as creative in using the Lego bricks as the first 2 rooms.
Some of them were.
Some of them were, but not as creative. It's kind of like Lego Movie 1, Lego Movie 2. Lego Movie 1 was super magical, and Lego Movie 2 was magical, but not quite to the level of Lego Movie 1. No, but it was actually really interesting, and he talked about in his art descriptions just some of the things that he's gone through personally, some struggles that he's had as a human being, and a lot of his art represented those things. And so I think that it was just, what I found really cool was a lot of people use art like paint or charcoal or just pencils and ink and stuff like that, traditional mediums to express themselves and some of their struggles, but he just used Legos, which was so cool. Are you singing Everything is Awesome?
No, the other one. It's stuck in my Sunday. I thought it was pretty cool. Some of them were small and seemed pretty easy, but some of them were pretty impressive. The one that's on the cover, the yellow brick guy.
Yeah, with him opening up his chest.
Yeah, and all the bricks coming out and stuff. That was very creative. The pieces that he made that were put into like live still shots. Like the dress. That was super impressive.
That was very impressive.
He made a flowing dress that someone actually wore for a picture. At least it looked like they wore for the picture. And it looked like a real picture with someone wearing a big red flowy dress. And then you looked at it close and it was actually Lego bricks.
Yeah.
That was really impressive.
That was actually a partnership with another photography artist. And that was really, really cool. That was a very interesting room. From an engineering perspective too, just to get the sculptures to stay up and stay together.
Yeah,
it's awesome. And then when I think Reagan's favorite was actually probably the dinosaur at the end. She
made
really
about
enjoyed
a half-size, half-scale T-Rex.
Yeah.
So it was like 20-something feet long.
Yeah.
Standing on its own, held up by wires, but standing up, and so it was really huge. And Reagan thought that was amazing.
Yeah. And then they had a room at the end, which I thought was a very excellent way to end it, where they just had a bunch of Legos, and there were different stations. Some of them had like challenges, like one of them was actually a music box, like you could create music with the different colors of Lego bricks, and as you slid it back and forth, it made music. Noises.
Different tones.
Another one was you had to just feel the sculpture that was on the inside of a box and try to recreate it with Legos. Another one was like a derby car thing. There was one where there was just blue Legos, so you created something just using the blue Legos, and it had to be a sculpture, and you couldn't rely on color to differentiate different things. So it was great interaction, and it helped people, I think, to understand they have the creative ability to express themselves using a unconventional medium as well. All right, last question. Do you recommend this for families?
Absolutely.
I do too. I mean, even Reagan, she was only 13 months at the time we went.
No, she's like 15 months.
15 months. I can't do math. Yeah, she still loved it. She was, pointing at things and oohing and ahhing and whatever else words that she can use at this age. But yeah, she loved it. She loved stuff at the end too, getting to just play with everything. So if you guys want to go, it's at the Perot Museum in Dallas until August, I believe. And then it travels to the next city. So jump on the Perot Museum website and plan out your trip.
And go see the other stuff there too.
Yes.
The Perot is really good.
Perot's awesome. If you guys want to see the rest of our Perot Museum stuff, go check out our adventure when we did the Rescuers on Disneybounding. Our
links in the description.
They will be. Thanks for the segue, babe. I don't got anything else. All right.
Don't step on Legos.
Don't step on Legos. Bad
Painful.
idea. We'll see y'all real soon. Bye.